Hey guys, welcome back. This week we're talking about relationships, and more specifically when relationships are ending and why so many people are scared to be alone or scared to be newly single. Now, if you've just ended a relationship or you're in the middle of ending a relationship and going through a divorce or something of that sort, there's definitely a grieving process that you have to go through. There's definitely a process of sadness and of grieving, that relationship that is now ending. One door is closing and another one is about to begin. And while that can seem very scary, there's so many benefits to one door closing and another one opening. And I want to give you some insights to kind of switch your thinking from being alone to being a scary thing to being a great thing and ready to embrace it. Now, the first thing to think about is know that you deserve better. Now, regardless of how the relationship ended, the relationship ended. So the chances are one of you or both of you were not happy in the relationship. And it doesn't matter if you're the one that's ending the relationship or if someone's ending a relationship with you and it's, come off guard or you didn't want the relationship to end. It doesn't matter. Because what matters is that even if you're the one that got dumped or, got left, or you're the person that thought that the relationship was great, but the other person didn't, you don't want to be with someone who's not happy in your relationship because they won't treat you the way you deserve to be treated. So knowing you deserve better is where you kind of take a step back and reevaluate yourself and reevaluate your past relationships and kind of see, what is it that I want? What are the things that are going to make me happy in a relationship? And how do I want to feel in the relationship? That's something that's so important because so often we end a relationship and we go into another one and we have our list. And usually the list is very different from our last partner. And, I want him to be tall, dark, and handsome, and I want him to be wealthy, and I want her to be thin and cute and athletic and into sports and like all of these nitty-gritty things. And of course, we always say we want someone who's loving and caring and honest and things of that sort, but we don't really stop and think about, how do I want to feel in the relationship? And how did I not feel in my last relationship? What were the things that I felt were lacking, or the things that I felt like I wasn't getting? So, maybe you were in a relationship with a partner and every time you really were vulnerable with them, you didn't feel that empathy coming from the other person, or you didn't feel seen or understood by them. These are all things that you want to feel in your next relationship. So really taking the time to think about how you want to feel, aside from the things that you would like in a partner. And of course, physical attraction is something that's very important, but it's not something that's going to last forever. And at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We want to find our best friend. We want to find someone who's happy and healthy and whole by themselves as we are, that complement us. We don't want someone where it's a battle and we're fighting with the other person either for attention or who's right and who's wrong. We just want someone who's happy and healthy on their own, that can live life with us, that can be our best friend, that can love us unconditionally. The next thing to think about in terms of ending a relationship is this is an opportunity for you to be alone and to start loving yourself. Now, if a relationship has ended, maybe there were things in that relationship that you noticed where you weren't loving yourself. You weren't setting healthy boundaries with people, or you didn't have standards, in your relationship. And maybe you were a little codependent, and maybe you attracted a narcissist. There are all sorts of different ways, but this is your opportunity to just be by yourself and love yourself. That's learning positive and healthy self-talk. That's learning to be alone. It's learning to be happy and healthy just by yourself. It's learning how to fill yourself up from inside. That way you're not meeting someone from a lack place. If you're not happy and whole by yourself, you're always going to be looking to attract people, or you just will attract people into your life thinking that that person's going to fill you up. And you don't need anyone to save you and to make you happy. You want someone who's at your level of healthiness that can just walk along with you in life and be your best friend, where you guys just complement each other so so well, but individually you're whole and you're happy. That's the goal. That's healthy love. That's healthy relationships. Learning to love yourself also has to do with when you're making your list and you're thinking about the things that you want in a partner. If you want someone to respect you, you need to respect yourself. If you want unconditional love from a partner, you need to unconditionally love yourself. That means no negative self-talk. That means not putting yourself down all the time if you're not doing something the way it should be done, the perfect way. It's just loving yourself for exactly who you are. And the more you love yourself, the more you will attract healthy people into your life. And that's a romantic partner, and that's, friendships, because you'll have standards and boundaries that people either need to meet you at, and if they don't, then they don't become a part of your experience, and that's okay. You're learning how to love yourself so you can teach people how you want to be loved. Another big thing when a relationship is ending and you're now single and you're alone is do the stuff that you love to do. This is a great chance for you to, if you hadn't worked out in years, this is your chance to start going back to the gym, to get your body into shape. This is your opportunity to, reconnect with people that you haven't seen in a long time. It's your opportunity to start a new hobby that you've been meaning to start and you just hadn't had the time because you were spending so much time with your partner. An opportunity for you also to, plan a trip with your friends, plan, a golf weekend with your buddies, or, a little getaway with your girlfriends. This is the time where it's all about you and you get to do whatever you want. You don't really have to compromise with anyone in the household about decisions that are being made. You get to just live life how you want to live it at every moment in time. The next thing to think about that's just so fun when a relationship's ending and now you're single and you're alone is get excited for the future. The reality is that regardless how a relationship ends, this is where you're at the point where you've grieved, you're ready to start dating again, you're in a good place, and you're excited about the future. That's such a fun place to be because you dictate who you meet. You get to dictate the type of relationship that you're going to have next, and that's so empowering. And you get to think about who's this person that I'm going to meet, and where am I going to meet them, and think about how you want to feel at every moment with this person. Do I want to feel loved and understood and respected for who I am and what I do for a living? All of those types of things. So it's such an exciting point in your life when you can just be really excited about the future and who you're going to meet, and that it's a fresh start. So even if you have already ended the relationship, you're thinking about ending it, I hope that this kind of gives you a little bit of insight as to the positives that could come if you do have to end a relationship, and know that everything will work out at the end of the day and you deserve happiness. I'll see you next time, guys.